Right guys, I just wanted to do a video about pending orders and about buy stop, sell stop and buy limit, sell limit. Just to clarify exactly what it means and what's the difference. So yeah, basically when you do a pending order is an order that you place that isn't at the current market. It's a preset trade. Again, you'll have three different points. You'll have your entry point, your stop loss, and your take profit as normal. The only difference is that your entry points, instead of being at the current marketplace, it's going to be somewhere different. It could, for example, be a breakout, or it could be, for some other reason you just choose to do a pending trade. So you'll see with our Forex Velocity tool, if I click on pending, you get this extra line, which is the yellow line. This is our entry line. So when I move this up and down, then I can basically preset my trades at a particular level. So if I have my yellow line here, for example, I might choose to have my red line above. And for example, we wanted to enter a trade at a break of this level here, this candlestick. So we might decide to put a pending trade the other side of that. Now, what would happen is that when the market came down and hits into that yellow line, it would action a sell trade. But because the because the blue line is below the yellow line, that would mean that we always want it to go towards the blue line because that's our take profit line. So it's definitely a sell trade. Therefore, the red line or the stop loss would be above the yellow line, so it's a sell trade. But once it hits our entry point, we want it to continue down. So that we would call a sell stop. So I'm just going to write that in. Okay, so whenever you see something that you want to continue in the same direction. So say, for example, the candlesticks are above, we want it to hit into the yellow line and continue, then that is a stop trade. So it's a sell trade because the blue line is below the entry point, so we want it to go down, but we also want the candlesticks to hit into the yellow line and continue. So whenever you want something to continue, that would be a what we call a stop. So I know it's very confusing and it doesn't really make logical sense, but think of the following. Stop equals continue. Okay, so there we started. There's the candlestick. We wanted to hit the yellow line and we want. So that means that would be called a sell stop. Okay, so there's another type of sell trade that we call a sell limit. Okay, so a sell limit would be where you had an entry point, which is above the current price. And again, you have your blue line below. And then your stop loss is obviously going to be above. So the fact that your blue line is below means that it's a sell trade. But now what we want to happen is we want the market to come up, hit into our entry point, and then come down to hit our take profit. So we actually want that to bounce. So it's still a sell trade, but we want it to actually go up and bounce on the yellow line and then come down to the blue line. Okay, so whenever you see something and you want it to actually bounce, then that would be what we call a limit trade. So it's still a sell trade, but it would be a sell limit. So let's just put that here. Limit equals bounce. So if you remember that stop equals continue and limit equals bounce, then you won't go wrong, whether it's a buy or a sell. I'll just do an example with a buy trade. Let's get rid of that stuff there. Okay, so let's do an entry point which is above. Maybe we want to do a break of this candlestick here and we want to trade up with a stop loss below that section there. Okay, so that would be an example of a buy trade. It's a pending trade. So what we wanted to do is we want the candlesticks to come up. We want it to hit into our entry points and we want it to continue up to the blue line. So that would be an example of a buy stop, because remember, stop equals continue. Okay, so there's another type of buy that you might want to preset, and that would be a buy limit. So a buy limit, again, it's still a buy trade. Your blue line is still going to be above your yellow line, and your red line is going to be below the yellow line. But on this example, we want it to come down, and we want it to actually bounce at that point and then continue up. So this is an example of a buy limit. So always remember, guys, that as strange as it may seem, stop equals continue and limit equals bounce. I hope that has helped you guys just to clarify. I know a couple of people are a bit confused about that. Again, if you're using our tool, our Forex Varsity Trader tool, you don't need to specify any of that. You really just need to make sure your auto trading is on. You can hold down your control key, click on E, and then all you do is you click on the OK, and it will place that trade for you at the correct lot size. But if you want to do it manually, you do need to specify the correct stuff. So if I'm going and doing that trade manually, then I will go to New Order. I go, instead of Market Execution, then I go to Pending Order, and then I select which type of trade that I like, and then I have to put in the levels here. So this example on the screen would be a buy limit, and then I type in the price. I can copy it from there, so 1.217. Stop loss would be 1.198. Take profit would be 1.289. And then all I do is I click on place, and it will place that trade for me. So simple as that, guys. If you need any help, just give us a shout. You guys have got our email address and phone numbers. Give us a call, come in and see us, or just pop us a message on the chat room, and we're here to help. I hope that helps you guys.